Water polo coach is introducing the sport he loves to Ghana.
In this morning's Zevely Zone, Jeff meets a prince.
Sports have a unique way of connecting people, and in this case, all the way to Africa.
Go swim to the far red. Go to the far red and back.
Asante Sefa-Boakye was born and raised in Coronado.
I've played the sport water polo here in the U.S. my whole life, and I've been able to find a home here. Now you're gonna bring it back just like this.
Asante's mother was born in Los Angeles, his father in Ghana, so he's always felt as if he's had two homes. Describe Ghana for me.
I really call it the California of Africa. It's very nice. It's a coastal city, right there on the water.
Asante became a star water polo player in high school and college, but one thing was missing.
It's really lonely when you're a diverse, handsome African American in this sport. You don't see too much diversity in aquatics. Stanley! I was just really tired of being alone in my sport.
So a year ago, he did something about it. Before you introduced the sport to Ghana, how many people were playing water polo?
I think it was a strong zero.
Nobody?
Yeah, there was nobody playing water polo.
Asante says the water is beautiful in Ghana, and so are the people. But there was a problem. What percentage of the people you met even knew how to swim?
A very small percentage.
I'm thinking not only did you introduce them to your favorite sport, but you probably saved some lives by teaching them how to swim.
Exactly right. There's a big water safety issue, and that really just comes down to that lack of access.
I think that's extraordinary. I think he's using their skills to a great use.
These Coronado athletes usually play water polo in a pool, but Asante has a way of breaking boundaries.
Such an amazing human being.
Jennifer Balinay is one of many parents supporting Asante's program in Ghana.
The fact that he is doing something so giving to a country that's less fortunate is so selfless.
Created the first Water Polo League in Ghana, the first water polo club. 7 teams from 7 different regions, boys and girls.
If you're thinking, this guy's a prince, well, you're right.
Prince Asante is my name.
Asante's grandfather was the chief of a prominent Ghana tribe, and leadership runs in the family.
It feels amazing. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It feels great.
As do the donations flowing into his GoFundMe page.
It helps a lot. People don't realize that whatever you donate, it goes a long way.
In the Zevely Zone, you can't stop smiling.
I can't, man. I'm a happy guy.
Jeff Zevely, CBS 8.
In Ghana, a program has been hatched that could help water polo's diversity. It all began when Asante Prince got out a couple water polo balls and caps in front of a handful of curious kids in Ghana. He named the team Black Star Polo, an aquatic program for boys and girls in Ghana.
I really think we have the potential to making this be a national sport of the country. We see water polo in the north and the south parts of the continent, not so much in the eastern and the western countries. And I really want Ghana to serve as a leader for this sport and even a home for other athletes, coaches, professionals to come in and give back to our community and grow this sport.
Beyond the relative absence of the sport in Africa, water polo has wrestled with the lack of diversity for decades. Prince has been at the forefront to fight these misrepresentations and further build their confidence in swimming.
The real goal is to reintroduce our people back to the water safely and to really reestablish this relationship with the water. Our sport, water polo, is very fun, very exciting. Swimming is very fun, very exciting. But the best takeaway from this is learning that water safety and being able to feel comfortable in the water.
Prince Ifos in Ghana, which had about 80 boys and girls on hand when it opened in new session this month in Accra, has attracted attention in some prominent corners of the sport.
I'm sure if water polo should get to a very higher level, we could even be organizing tournaments in Ghana where many people from other countries can come over, and then it will help within the country, not just the community, when it comes to trade, when it comes to tourism, when it comes to people coming.
Egypt and South Africa are the only African countries that have played men's water polo at the Olympics. South Africa became the first women's team from the continent to make it to the Games when it finished 10th in Tokyo in 2021.
First preseason match coming up. Yo. Check it out, we out here. This is the annual, 4th annual, live and direct. We're doing it, happening now in Ghana. Champion team, Awutu A against Kumasi. We got our first preseason match coming up this Saturday, November 16th at the Splash Social Center. Be there. If you're not there, I don't know what you're doing, man. These kids right here are the future. So if you're not there to witness greatness, I don't know what you're doing. Who's gonna win on Saturday? Aquatic. That's 247. That's 247. Black Star Polo.
Understand, see the teams getting hotter. Rappers on the green like we all playing soccer. King and a queen, you know that's good and proper. What's that? I can hear you on a helicopter. Yeah, I see the city in the skyline. Had to take it all, seen the ear, say it's all mine. African man up in a white land. I travel the world, I've been on white sands. Put the bottles of the champagne, about to get ridiculous like when you feel that liquor hit. Oh, we tricky like a remix hit. Yeah, I spit sophisticated gibberish. And he don't know how to act when the rhythm hit. Need a senorita with my cheetah in Bahia, go. It's all for you, this who we do it for. Yeah, if you ain't living, what you living for? Yeah, they making moves, but we doing more. It's the freedom of the groove, let them move, ho. It's all for you, this who we do it for. Yeah.
Can I tell you some more about Asante?
Please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So when I met him, like I said, I wanted to keep Asante in the circle of the people in the world of aquatics in San Diego because he's just a rock star. He's so important and just brings to the table fun and sportsmanship and the joy of water polo and splash ball for the littler kids. And so we invited Asante to come and meet the Prevent Drowning Foundation, and one thing led to another. We knew that the Diversity in Aquatics folks were having an event up in maybe north of Orange County. So we got to go up there, Asante and I, and another friend of the Prevent Drowning Foundation of San Diego in California, to meet with the folks from Diversity in Aquatics from all around the country, including Colin Jones, and lots of other just incredible leaders in the world of diversity in aquatics. Asante's also been a speaker at the California Water Safety Summit, where he talks about his program, Black Star Polo, and he does say something like, well, we're really tricking them into learning how to swim because to play water polo, you need to learn how to swim. So, but his tactics are just perfect, and his strategy is just so well thought out, and he can just take his whole program to a pool. The kids are there, or adults are even there, and everybody just has a wonderful time. Asante is also known to the National Drowning Prevention Alliance on a national basis. We talk about him all the time and the good work that he's doing. He's really incredible. And he brings great programs like the Float and Flow program to San Diego. So I'm sure that you already have some good footage of that event. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I hope you have the story of how the Float and Flow program actually started. That he talked about it in Ghana with Stevie Wonder, and then he came back home to the U.S. and here, funny story, he comes back from Ghana and he says, Mary, I was talking to Stevie Wonder. I'm like, what? He said, about this Float and Flow thing, we have to do this in San Diego. And at that time I was at Aqua Pro Swim School for one of their events. And I said, well, here's where I am, come on over. And he came over to talk to the owner of Aqua Pro Swim School, who happened to be the woman who taught Asante how to swim, Tammy Anderson. And within 2 weeks, the first Float and Flow was scheduled, booked, sound bath, people showed up. We had like 30 people for the first event, 2 weeks after he came back and talked about it. That's how powerful he is, and how influential to take from idea, connect with people that he knows, and make it happen. He's awesome.
Today is World Drowning Prevention Day. The United Nations and WHO are spearheading the global initiative to raise awareness about drownings and to find life-saving solutions.
Now, a local nonprofit is using the day to raise money for swim lessons for communities of color in San Diego and Africa as well. And joining us around the table here to talk about that is Asante, I'm going to say this correctly, Sefa-Boakye.
Sefa-Boakye.
Hey,
you got it.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Well, talk to us a little bit about this event, this fundraising event that's going on tonight.
Sure. So drowning is a very preventable death around the world. Something as simple as learning how to swim, and even more simple, learning how to float. So I had some community collaborators. We came together and I came up with this idea to say, how about we just create the most comfortable environment that we can to reduce any trauma in those communities and teach people how to float. But not just how to float, we'll provide life jackets, noodles, neck noodles, and we'll have a sound healer playing a sound bath just to kind of encourage people to relax in the water.
You know, let me ask you about Black Star Polo and what that is. You've actually got some props here with you today to talk about that. So tell us more.
So Black Star Polo is a nonprofit organization I started about 4 years ago, and it's pretty much designed to create aquatic opportunities for African and African American communities of color. The biggest thing that we've done is launch the first water polo program in Ghana. So I did that in West Africa, my homeland, and then I said I can do the same thing here and help communities of color just learn how to swim. Water polo is fun, but you can't play unless you know how to swim. So I said, let's
do it.
Start from the beginning.
Lots of treading water.
Yeah, treading water, wrestling, swimming, it's a whole mess, man.
Yeah, but once you're doing that, you're not going to drown at any point. Yeah.
No. You might drown a few people, but you definitely won't stay afloat.
Can be aggressive. I know that. My brother
aggressive.
played water polo for a while. So how common are drownings in San Diego? Because I personally have seen a rise, and it's not always reported right away. I know that there have been several cases in Riverside County as well, but what have you seen?
Definitely I've seen in the beach. The craziest story that I had is last year we did an event, and just the day after we had this program, there was a story of a young man from Cameroon who came to San Diego for MMA fighting, and he just wanted to jump in the water, and sure enough, didn't know how to swim, and he fell down in panic. So it's very common here, especially not just by the beach, but in people's backyard pools, even just by the lakes and the rivers. People just don't know how to swim. And the best thing that we can do, City of San Diego has done a great job providing parent-taught swim lessons. And then I've been able to get some support to help people have swim lessons in, different underserved areas and just get more African-American kids to swim. It's a difficult drowning to have because of how preventable it is,
For sure. So tell us more about your event. It's called Float and Flow.
Yeah, Float and Flow.
Kind of doesn't go off the tongue. Where's that going to be happening at, and give us the details.
So this will be happening at the San Diego Boys and Girls Club in Claremont Mesa, specifically at the Aqua Pro Swim School. It's a bit of a community collaboration that I've got with myself and some other community partners, Movement Matters Collective, and of course, Aqua Pros and Chocolate Yoga Destinations. So we have a sound healer coming in to play healing music to make sure everybody stays calm, because the easiest way to drown is to panic when you're in the water. So teach them how to float. We'll have you lay back with a life jacket, a noodle, a neck noodle, and we're gonna have even a vocalist come by to give some more soothing sounds, because I'm disguising a life-saving skill with relaxation. We want you to learn how to float and relax so that if you get caught in the pool, a rip current, anything, you'll know to lay on your back, look to the sky, flip, float, follow, and you'll be good.
Love it.
What do you want people to know about Black Star and World Drowning Prevention Day?
So the biggest thing is that Black Star Polo, as much as we are a water polo club team, we do programs in Africa and San Diego, we want people to know that this is definitely a vehicle to end a lot of the trauma that exists in communities of color, specifically black and brown, and to make sure people do not suffer drowning, because it's something that happens, but it doesn't need to happen. Anybody can drown, but nobody should. And Black Star Polo is really making sure that we reduce those numbers, especially in the black and brown communities.
These lessons are normally really expensive to teach, like survival swim or this float and swim. I know, I've had to pay for them. They're outrageous.
It's tough.
I don't know how families can do it, but that's the problem we're seeing, and that's the problem we're running into as parents, is we want our kids to learn at a young age, but you can't always afford it. And so it's the underserved community that's hit even harder. And so it's so important what you're doing and what you're doing tonight to educate families and teach children and educate parents about the need. So thank you for doing what you're doing.
Hey, absolutely. It's myself and other community organizations like the Prevent Drowning Foundation of San Diego have done a phenomenal job of making sure we help those underserved communities and providing affordable swim lessons. And same way as Black Star Polo, just trying to make a new wave of people that can stay afloat and flow a little bit while we're at it.
Yeah.
All right, Asante, thank you so much. For more information, of course, on the event tonight, or buy tickets, you can go to our website at fox5sandiego.com. Just hit the Scene On tab. Asante, good luck with that event tonight. Thank you very much.
Yeah, just again, sharing the message, because people, literally, you don't hear about drowning. It's a silent killer. And people don't realize that in black communities, it's a stat. We're 50% more likely to drown than any other racial counterpart, just because not knowing how to swim, because of fear and access. We know the story of why we were not in the pool, but that doesn't have to be what defines our story, simply put, So, now I believe that's all I gotta say about that.
Talk about floating.
Take it away.
The first time that we had Float and Flow, we had people floating out of control. They had life jackets, neck doodles. They had things on their legs. They were floating like a raft. That is not the idea. So less flotation is better. If you are a non-swimmer, if you prefer to wear a life jacket, I brought 10. So I got plenty. We have pool noodles. We have these little things called neck doodles. There are little, you see that little blue and white floaty thing there? You can put that between your knees or put one behind your neck. Lots of things that add flotation to help you float. And the World Drowning Prevention message today is find your float, because it's absolutely life-saving. If you get in trouble in a rip current, you are just going to roll over and float. Be calm and float. The water will take you out, and then you can ride the waves back in, right? So we're all going to try to float nice and peaceful. I'll be in the water. I'm an adult U.S. Masters adult learner swim instructor and water safety instructor. I'll teach you how to stand up if you don't know how to get out of a float. And the shallow water, everybody can stand up there. If you want to float in the deep water without flotation, it's just a beautiful thing. You'll enjoy it so much. And Asante, genius idea. You didn't tell them how you invented this.
Yeah, okay, here's the backstory. It's actually very important. About a year ago, I was talking with another group out here in San Diego, Movement Matters. You guys know them, you can make some noise or this now. Thank you. We're just talking about, why is it you don't see the diversity in aquatics? Why don't you see people of color swimming? And it was just like, well, dude, there's trauma, there's slave ships, segregation, drowning, there's a whole history behind it. So how can we find a way to make it more encouraging? And I said, all right, let's just get a sound healer and go to the pool, give them floaties and see how we can make that work. Oh my God, dude, crazy idea. That's fantastic. All right, quick, hang up. Then, literally the next day, back to Ghana, I get a call and a text and an email saying, hello, Mr. Asante, this is a very private invitation. We are going to welcome you to the Jubilee House, which is pretty much the White House, to attend the citizenship of Mr. Stevie Wonder. He's gonna be a Ghanaian. We're inviting you for what you've done, blah, blah, blah. Please come by. I said, hey, I don't think I can make it. I'm in California. Thanks for the invitation. Then right away, sir, the event is on Monday. Today is Thursday. Find your way to get here and we'll take care of you from the end. We'll see you on Monday. Click. So fast forward, I'm now in the presidential house, sitting next to Stevie Wonder, going crazy saying, wow, this is incredible. And somehow, I'm able to sit next to him, get close enough to share the story. Hello, Mr. Wonder, how are you? I love everything you've done. And I'm actually here in Ghana promoting water safety and work with the kids in the villages by the rivers and the lake, and we're trying to make this water polo team happen. He goes, okay, cool. And yeah, I got this idea. We want to do this thing, like a float therapy. And then he goes, well, what is float therapy? And then I told him it's just a way to kind of get people safe into the water, using sound bath healing, because that's the best thing you can do for your physical therapy, And he loved the idea. And he's like, no, that's really cool. And then he introduced me to his son, and his son and I were starting to speak about it. And I said, hey, you're going to Howard University. There's an all-black swim team here, and I'm doing just aquatics in the black community. Oh, wow, that's really cool. Hey, Dad, this is the guy I think I was telling you about who does swimming at Howard University. So, as soon as that happened with Stevie Wonder, I came back to California, called Mary, I called Tammy, I called Movement Matters. I said, yo, we got the green light from Stevie Wonder. It's approved. We have to have this event. And sure enough, that is the story of Float and Flow. And here we are now, approved by Mr. Wonder himself. So, out in the community, I think is very important. And you don't have to be a Grammy Award winner, Olympic swimmer, professional, whatever person to stay afloat. You just got to be safe and calm. All right? I believe that is all I got to say about that. Who knows how to swim here? Who doesn't know how to swim here?
Somewhere.
Who's afraid of the water? Who never wants to swim in their life? All right, last question. Who's ready to get in the water? Thank you. First things first, please just sign in on this sheet.
So if you hear somebody walking there, you play the instrument over, you don't really learn, just breathe and relax into it. I'll guide you in with a gentle meditation as we get started, and then I'll bring you guys back out as well. So that's pretty much it.
Bang. All right. Rule number one is don't panic. And I think that's enough talking, huh? Let's find a place in the water.
My name is Mary Ann Downing, and my background, I grew up in Pennsylvania, and I went to Indiana University of Pennsylvania, which actually had an aquatic program, training people to become health and phys ed teachers, focusing on aquatics, or going into the YMCA as an aquatic director. So that was my background. I learned to swim, I guess I was like 11, but kept on swimming, swim team, became a water safety lifeguard, water safety instructor, and then off to college, then out to a job with the YMCA. After the YMCA, I volunteered to teach swim lessons and lifeguard, and before you knew it, I'm grown with a family, and then sort of had a change in my life, major change in my life, and I looked to how can I help the world with my background in aquatics. And I started a little business called Pool Safety Solutions, where I would help people who own backyard swimming pools make their pools safer with fencing and nets and alarms. And I talked about the importance of swim lessons, parents knowing how to rescue and resuscitate their kids, and all things pool safety like. And I became the pool safety mom and even trademarked that name back in 2004 or so. I lived in New Jersey, had this business for a little while, and then moved across the country to California. And that's where we get connected with Asante.
Okay,
So.
Can you tell us how you met Prince Asante?
Yes, of course. So I volunteered with the San Diego Park and Recreation Department at the pool near Balboa Park, Bud Kern's pool. And I taught a group of kids from the Kapanda Kids organization, refugee families. So they would bring the kids in the Kapanda Kids van, and we did 8 swim lessons. And the grand finale, the last lesson, we had Asante bring Black Star Polo splash ball to these group of kids. And so that was the first time I met him, as we volunteered together with these kids. And I kept him from that day on, trying to bring him into connection with all of the aquatics people that I already knew.
In Vista, a 3-year-old had to be rushed to the hospital after nearly drowning during a church event. It happened this afternoon at a church on Avenida de Benito Juarez. We spoke with the boy's grandmother, and she says the kids were playing near the dunk tank when they noticed the 3-year-old boy was missing. The boy's father spotted him in the water and managed to pull him out. Bystanders started CPR until paramedics could get there and take him to Rady Children's Hospital.
So I am on the board of the Prevent Drowning Foundation of San Diego. I was also on the National Drowning Prevention Alliance board for 6 years. It's a national organization. Drowning is actually a very preventable injury and death. Almost 3,000 people die from drowning every year in the country, and about 500 in the state of California. Drowning actually is the leading cause of death of children ages 1 to 4. I don't think a lot of people know that. So anybody can drown, but nobody should. That's actually the tagline that the World Drowning Prevention Day used. Anybody can drown, but nobody should. So drowning has lots of parts. You can drown in bathtub, bucket, pond, pool, or the ocean, a pond, a lake, whatever. And even people who can swim can drown. So there's lots of things that people need to know. Everybody needs to know how to recognize drowning, and also to have the skills to help them prevent their own drowning by learning how to swim and learning how to float and learning how to be safer in the water. But again, it's a lot of moving parts of drowning prevention, and one of them is water competency, the swim skills, the floating, the recognizing that somebody else needs help.
So my first week that I was in the pool, I had 2 sisters, and I couldn't understand why one of them was deathly afraid of drowning, and I kept saying, relax, it's going to be okay, we're right here. And this fear is instilled in us of drowning. And it turned out when later on I met her father, he said to me that they had a 3-year-old cousin. They were at a birthday party, they were chit-chatting, and nobody was paying attention closely enough until it was too late. They turned around to look, and there was a 3-year-old already dead in the swimming pool. And that's why he brought his daughters to come and learn how to swim. So not only is swimming life-saving, but it's a joy. And what I explained to the person who's making this film is that for me it's the absolute freedom, because I can go anywhere that I want to in the world. I can take a Caribbean vacation if I want to, or I can go, I have cousins that do whitewater rafting, and they'll teach people and take people on rafts up the Trinity River. My dad used to take me whitewater rafting when I was a little girl, and it was about learning how to swim, because if you're in a river and you can't swim and there's a current, you're not going to survive. But having the freedom to be able to take camping trips, to go fishing, to go and live in the mountains if I wanted to as a teacher, swim in the Yuba River, which is my heart's delight, or visit home. For me, that's Mexico and Honduras. Los Angeles is home. But to visit the beaches at home, or to be able to know that I can go to Mexico and swim in the water, or stay in Costa Rica and survive when I happen to fall in the river and swim out of danger of the crocodiles eating me.
Okay.
Okay.
Halka Hewanetet Coach Jackson. Hi, my name is Coach Jackson. I am Nanticoke. We're Tidewater people from the East Coast, so we're inherently water protectors. We also have African ancestry as well, so I've always been really obsessed about the interconnectivity with the Indigenous and African diasporic connection. The water unites us all, which is so beautiful. I have been working with Coach Asante for at least a couple of years now as my role with Coastal Defenders. We are a climate, social, and restorative justice organization dedicated to creating equitable pathways in STEAM, aquatics, and guardianship practices. And so the first step to doing all of that work is water safety, and I'm so grateful that Coach and I share that same philosophy of learning about the basics of water so that everyone can enjoy it for their personal and professional lives. It's really important to understand the reasons why we have disproportionate drowning rates in our communities. There have been laws and practices and policies that have put in place that have kept us from opportunities of learning how to swim. And so it's really important to understand the systems and the structures so we can work together to dismantle them and get closer to the importance of water safety. Yesterday was International, I believe, Water Safety Day or Prevent Drowning Day. And so they're inversely proportionate concepts that if we start doing water safety early, then you're going to be preventing drowning. A lot of the drowning rates unfortunately occur the younger that they are and in pool settings versus ocean. So if we can really embed those practices here, then they will transfer into other bodies of water.
I think something that surprised all of us when we saw it pop up, a stunning death of actor Malcolm Jamal Warner, who rose to fame. You know that face. He still looks exactly like Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show. Investigators say in Costa Rica, he drowned after getting caught in a rough current. ABC's Victor Oquendo joins us live from San Jose in Costa Rica with the latest. Victor, it is just something I think that hit everybody because we all grew up with the Huxtables.
You're right, you either watched them grow up or you grew up with them. So overnight, here's the latest that we heard from Costa Rica's Red Cross. They're the ones that responded to the beach where this happened. When they arrived, they said that two bystanders pulled two men, sorry about that, it's a little loud here in San Jose, pulled two men from the water. One of them was in critical condition. The other was Malcolm Jamal Warner. Tragically, the beloved actor died at the scene.
Yes, this is Theodore Huxtable.
This morning, fans around the country mourning the tragic loss of The Cosby Show star Malcolm Jamal Warner.
You will always be my son.
Thanks, Dad.
The 54-year-old actor was reportedly on vacation when authorities say he accidentally drowned in the Caribbean Sea at this beach in Limon, Costa Rica, Sunday afternoon. A first responder from the Red Cross saying Warner and another man were swept away by a strong current, which is common in that area. Bystanders tried to rescue Warner, but by the time authorities arrived at the scene, he had no pulse. The other man transported in critical condition. The official cause of death, asphyxiation by submersion. For 8 seasons, Warner played the endearing, humorous Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, the sitcom becoming a cultural phenomenon. This morning, tributes pouring in. Tracy Ellis Ross, who played Warner's on-screen wife, writing, "You were my first TV husband. My heart is so sad. You made the world a brighter place." The actor leaving behind a wife and daughter, posting this video a few months before he passed away, a flower given to him by his daughter tucked behind his ear.
Just wanted to remind you, as I remind myself, that no matter what's going on, there's always a reason to smile.
Warner has been transported to a facility just outside of where we are in San Jose. There will be an autopsy, but for now this is being considered an accidental drowning.
So we say that drowning is on a continuum. So if somebody drowns here, they're underwater, they're not breathing, and they're not rescued until way out here 6 minutes later, it could be a fatal injury. If they're rescued 30 seconds later, pulled up out of the water, if they're rescued a minute later and their breathing is restored or they have no trouble breathing, they might be perfectly fine just with some oxygen and maybe an overnight stay in the hospital. If it's 2 minutes or 3 minutes, they may need to be resuscitated with rescue breathing. If it's 4 minutes, it might be full CPR. Once it gets past 5 to 6 minutes, the longer a child or anybody goes without breathing, their brain is being impacted. So need quick rescue, quick resuscitation, quick oxygen, and maybe even full CPR with rescue breathing. And then again, emergency medical assistance. So you don't have long, minutes. Yeah.
How important do I think it is for Black and brown communities to be able to swim? It's life or death. It's freedom or not having those freedoms or opportunities, like I mentioned, to be able to really truly go camping, go to any lake, go to any ocean, go take a trip. My ancestors are from the Caribbean, so my grandmother hails from a little tiny island called Roatan off of Honduras, and my grandfather was from St. Kitts in the Virgin Islands. And on my mom's side, they were migrant farm workers. American Mexicans who worked in the fields. My mom was almost born in a grape field. But for fun, after working, one of the low-cost things they could do was go to the swimming pool. So imagine your mental health. Imagine the stress. When I was a kid, there was a commercial that said, "Calgon, take me away." And it was about a woman getting into a bathtub, and she had all the suds foaming all around her, taking a bath. If we can take a bath, if we can take a shower, it resets our nervous system. Imagine the stress that goes when you get into a jacuzzi. So imagine the stresses that we have as Black and brown people that give us obesity, that lead to drinking, that lead to drug use, that lead to our need to reduce stress, that leads to high blood pressure, that leads to diabetes, that leads to on and on and on. When we have lower immune systems, we saw when COVID hit, what happened to our communities. But what could happen if there were swimming pools? What could happen if people could go take a dip after work and swim laps in the mornings, or the kids could play in the swimming pool in the summertime? When kids are active between the hours of 3 o'clock and 5, when school's out and their parents are still in work, those are the hours that they call the most dangerous for low-income kids or at-risk youth. If they could be in a swimming program, they would sleep better at night, there would be less obesity, leading to less hypertension, diabetes, all the things that we suffer from as people. So that's one of the benefits. But also, more of us could go to summer camp and not be embarrassed when we don't know how to swim. More of us might be encouraged to take jobs or even do sports like water polo. And it's sad to say that when I take cousins and relatives to the beach, even in Los Angeles when I'm visiting, I'm the only one that knows how to swim. We sit on the ocean, we have a picnic, and oftentimes when I offer to teach my little cousins how to swim, their parents are afraid they're going to drown. So no matter what, we have to do more in our communities to end the fear of swimming, to share safety tips, water safety tips, and to offer more opportunities for children and families to be in the water, whether it's giving surfboards, whether it's giving swimsuits so that more families can go and take surf lessons to get out, and offering free or low-cost surfing lessons. The community swimming pools to advertise to offer free swimming lessons or low cost. The YMCA does a fantastic job. And then we have a lot of private pools that are unattainable because they're out of reach in a physical way or monetarily. But I had the opportunity to teach at some of those places, and I've never had more joy in my heart than to share with this group of kids but I gave my years, 20 years working at private schools where I was the only brown person serving children that had lighter skin than I did. I loved children no matter what, but it was always sad to me that there weren't more of us, more BIPOC people, more brown and indigenous people, more people of color, to share in not only the spaces of higher education, the spaces of opportunity to enjoy ourselves in nature, natural elements, and open up this beautiful world that we live in to all of us when we have the freedom to swim in the oceans, the rivers, the swimming pools.
Yo, how we doing? My name is Asante Sefa-Boakye. I'm the founder, head coach of Black Star Polo. It's an aquatics program and a nonprofit designed to create more aquatic opportunities for African, African American, and communities of color here in San Diego and across Africa. So my story is I grew up in San Diego. I swam, I played water polo, was able to play all the way through college, and I was able to even do a little bit of training in Europe and eventually landing in Brazil to do some more training and competition out there in Rio de Janeiro. This is a sport you don't see a lot of black people playing it. You don't see a lot of African Americans playing it. It's a result of the history of exclusion that exists in aquatics. So every team I was on, I never really saw players that looked like me unless it was my brother, or really until I got to Brazil. And I took it upon myself to say, how great would it be to create a program or to have an organization where that is our number one mission, is to create that diversity. And as I was creating this program and even going back to Ghana to start a water polo program, I was realizing the reasons why you don't see black people swimming. And then it became a bigger mission of not just creating more representation in the sport, but it became now a mission to say, wait a second, you don't see black people swimming because so many people of the black community, they drown. So why don't we create this enthusiasm for aquatics in the black community to have more representation and now even reduce the drowning rates that exist in the community. So as much as I love playing water polo and advocating for competitive sports, I love the health and wellness component of aquatics. And what we've been doing here at Black Star Polo in San Diego is offering up free swimming lessons, splash ball, water polo, just to give something to the community that maybe was never there ever before. And I think it's important that people realize there are opportunities in aquatics and there are solutions to learning how to swim and being able to stay afloat. Sadly, we've seen too many stories of people not surviving trauma in the water, not surviving being in the water or a pool just because of a lack of swimming skills. So if we can help to keep one body above the water, that's a success. And the shining, shining goal is to one day see an all-black team from Ghana, of course, or even other athletes coming to be a part of a team to represent at the highest level of the sport in the Olympics. So Black Star Polo is definitely a vehicle to promote more black excellence in the water. And it really adds to my story. And the best thing that I can say is my story of being, really one of the only black players in the team is a story that is now fading, because we've got sessions where the whole pool is filled with black stars. And I'm satisfied, I think it's a great thing that gives me life. A lot of people are excited, kids, parents, adults, young ones. I'm happy to see Black Star Polo take over the world.
Here in San Diego, we have a beautiful new a banner, and it has 5 things on it. And this is, it's more geared towards child drowning, which is completely preventable, that layers of protection between the water and the kids. The second one would be water competency, adult supervision, wearing a life jacket, always on a boat, maybe even on a dock or around open water, and knowing how to use a life jacket. And then the last point is for quick rescue and resuscitation with rescue breathing, because drowning is when you're not breathing. You need to restore you need to restore breathing, and maybe even CPR, and then access to excellent medical care. So those are the 5 things, like off the top, that we talk about to prevent drowning deaths.
Wow.
Here's a little tip, though, that everybody who hears this, I hope that they know this. So if a child is missing, always check the water first, because drowning is an injury that has no time. You need to quickly rescue a child if they are in the water. If a child is hiding in the closet, under the bed, it's okay, they have time because they can breathe. Once they're in the water, they're in trouble. And so you always check the water first. That's a good tip.
What is the population that has the more prone to drowning?
So we know that in terms of age groups and in terms of rates, not the numbers of people that die from drowning, but the rates are very high in age group for kids ages 1 to 4. Lots of little kids get into trouble, they find their way to water, and they need to be rescued immediately. Lots of kids drown, but they're resuscitated thanks to quick rescue and good emergency room care and hospitalization. So the rates are very high for that age group. And also we're seeing it in the oldest age groups, in like 65 and up, where people are dying from drowning. It seems like a lot in bathtubs and hot tubs. So there's also groups of concern that what about black and brown children, or the age groups? Groups that don't have access to swimming early or access to water competency skills have higher drowning rates. As an example, teenagers, I think actually from like 9 to 19, the rate for black and brown children is like 2 or 3 times as high as the rate for their white counterparts. Yeah.
Largest mass arrest of rabbis. The gathering was held at the Hilton Historic Bayfront. This hotel was once known as the Motor Lodge. It's where 16 rabbis and 1 administrator were arrested, but the rabbis were there as a diversion. That's because it's also where African-American civil rights activists jump into this pool in protest of the refusal to serve Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and others lunch. The images were taken in 1964. You can see the hotel manager pouring acid around the pool filled with black activists. Last year, on the 59th anniversary of the historic moment, Action News Jax talked to the daughter of one of the women who made history.
Because she was a black woman, you know, you can have guests here, your guests can stay here, but they can't use the facilities, they can't swim, they can't eat in the diner.
Our faith and Judaism requires that we not stand idly by the blood of our neighbors.
Event coordinator Rabbi Merrill Shapiro says he encourages people to stand up against injustice like these brave activists did.
We need to go forth, seek out injustice, and fix it. Make a just world.
The Motor Lodge was demolished in 2003. It's now the Bayfront Hilton. While in jail, the rabbis wrote a letter called Why We Went to St. Augustine. For local coverage, you can count on I'm Nicholas Brooks, Action News Jax.
I mean, you see the remnants of it, you know. I can see how it has been an issue. And I think the easiest question is, or the easiest answer to the question is that when you go to these pools and you don't see black people in the deep side, it's because there's been so much exclusion. You know, we've had white-only pools, we've had histories of segregation, histories of people dunking acid into the water while we've been swimming. So if you don't see any of it right now in present day, you see the results of it, the remnants of it, the remnants of so many years of exclusion. I think the most recent situation I've had is by the beach. Man, I was walking by the beach barefoot one day and somebody came up and said, listen, this is in Africa, put some shoes on. And as much as I wanted to get mad and angry at this dude, I did get mad and angry. But I realized you're just a product, man. You're just a product of the environment that has kept us away. And it just proves how real it is. How real that the history of segregation has been in keeping us out of the pool. So if there is racism, segregation, discrimination of blacks in the water, I'm happy that Black Star Polo was able to be a vehicle against it and a solution towards that issue. But it's real. It's definitely real. It's definitely felt. Yeah.
It doesn't matter where I'm a lifeguard, but we already set it up.
Well, you don't understand the permits here, so.
You don't, we already set this up, and we were here first. Leave it alone.
No, you know what?
No, you know what?
I built these poles.
That's fine. It doesn't give you a right to it.
And it's a community.
It does not give you a right.
It's a community, right? But you said it's. But you also said that it's a public court. Exactly. So it could be for anyone.
We come here every week.
Okay, so then it's for if we set up.
And you guys can challenge the flag.
Yeah. So but we're set up here already.
Well, it's been sitting here for an hour and a half. It has been used.
In a public space.
That's what I'm like. So
he's gonna put lines and a good net up, and you guys can challenge to play all you want.
Go get a lifeguard. And you said no one's playing on it. Can you guys just watch all back and forth? We're happy to share, but you don't just come and take our things down and say we built this and that. This is the issue. This is a public space, okay?
Are you yelling at me? Because I'm trying to help out.
I'm not yelling, but I'm upset because this is the
I don't need a raised tone.
Okay, well, guess what? She could express her. She could express her.
Can I talk to you because we were talking?
No, you can talk to them.
This is not how this works, okay?
I'm not talking to you.
She's expressing herself, which she has a right to, okay? Okay, we'll wait until a lifeguard gets here, okay? But until then, can you please go ahead and back off?
This is a public space. We arrived and set up our tent. You took it down. Your friend fought with me saying he built this. Did he build the beach? He did not. This is a public space. We have a beautiful event going on and we do not need this energy here. Like I said, we're happy to share. We're happy to share.
You're being ridiculous.
Our stuff down.
Now you're being ridiculous.
You know?
I was just trying to explain.
No, but if you guys said, can we share?
Start tearing things down.
Okay, if we're there now.
I haven't had a chance to say a word. I'm just trying to explain. I haven't had a chance to say a word.
You did. You said we need to challenge them. We don't have to challenge anybody.
I said these are challenge courts.
And then challenge them. Did you not say that? I mean, we have it on video. We could replay
I
it.
said these are challenge courts.
That is fine.
They would like to
the
challenge.
bottom line is, if you said, hey, we're going to play a game, we're going to do this, fine, we're happy to share, but don't take our things down. We were here first and we set it up. And then he said, I built this pole. I built this pole. What does that matter? Your friend. So if you're like, oh, I don't know, then maybe be quiet and let him come back with the lifeguard.
I was just trying to explain that they want to challenge whoever was playing.
Fine.
That was it.
Okay, and that is okay. That's fine. We're happy to challenge. But we're not challenging to keep our net up. We're challenging for fun, okay? That's the bottom line. It's not, oh, if we win, you take your net down. We have children here. This is a public beach and we're staying. As long as that's clear. And for you guys, we're happy to challenge. We're happy to share, okay? I just want to make that extremely clear. But this like ownership thing is not going to
They came over here taking down our net.
When we set up our court
This morning
at 5 a.m., I'm trying to go teach my kids, and I come over to where he's taking it down, and I said, excuse me, politely, what are you doing? And he said, we're taking it. I built these poles and this and that. Then he said he's going to get the lifeguard. We're happy to share. Play on it if no one's here, but don't take our things down. Have some respect. That's all we're asking.
I apologize if there was any.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. You're the only one who came over here.
First speaker today. Thank you, Madam Ali. For the last 6 years, I've had the privilege of serving on the Coastal Commission and enforcing both the environmental justice policy of the Commission as well as the Coastal Act to ensure and secure access for all, not just some. I have a minute, so I'm just going to echo some of the concerns that you received and I'm sure read from the coastal staff, and I think they're 100% accurate. I think if you vote to advance this today, it's an unenforceable permit program unless it gets a CDP or CDP modification. So you're going to be stuck in a situation where the NGOs can go out there anytime they want, armed with a letter from the Coast Commission saying that they have a right to be there, and then the city will be obligated to send people out to enforce against them to take them off the beach. I don't think that's a good look. I don't think that's really what any of us want. So I'm asking that you postpone this so that something can be worked out that will work for everybody, because what you have now is not working for everybody. And yeah, to the contrary, I'm here to be a conduit between the city and the Coast Commission if need be to make this work. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Cesar Javier. I'm not seeing Cesar here, so we're going to move on to our next speaker, Andrew Meyer. If you want to come up, you'll have 1 minute.
Thank you very much. My name is Andrew Meyer. I work for the San Diego Bird Alliance, and I'm program manager of the Rewild Mission Bay Coalition. The Rewild Mission Bay is a program to increase and improve public access to our shared city shoreline, and this item today is not the right path forward to improve our parks in the ways that the Parks Master Plan and many other city plans are calling for. These groups here today are following all the safety guidelines required and put the good faith effort into discussions to fix this access impasse, only to have the city attempt an end run around the state policy and the stated city goals. This is not the way that the city should reward these groups for their important and safe programming. These surfers, these paddlers, these swimmers are people that we want to meet out at the beach and introduce or foster a deep love for our shoreline habitats. Do not pass this resolution today. Please work on a compromise that gets the goals of the NGOs here in front of the city in a safe and equitable way. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is going to be Marissa Bell. While you're making your way up, can I have Ben McHugh, Mitch Silverstein, Michael King, and Ramon Charaves go and come up? And Marissa has time ceded to her. If people could raise their hand once I say their name. Kayla Broad. Thank you. Tristan Beery. Savannah Stallings. Thank you. Liliana Soriana. Andres Guaraluz. Kathleen Schinkel. Thank you. You'll have 7 minutes.
Thank you. And I just want to confirm if you received, okay, great. So good afternoon, Council. Thank you for your time today. My name is Marissa Bell. I'm the CEO of Paddle for Peace, a local nonprofit here in San Diego, and I'm here to defend AB 2939. Next slide, please. So what AB 2939 does is remove unnecessary red tape for local nonprofits and tribal groups to operate in San Diego with 30 or few constituents in our programs, the same as the general public. What item number 331 is doing is it's presenting as a health and safety risk, but honestly it's not. It's more about control and privilege, because AB 2939 is all about health and safety for our youth. Next slide, please. So why this matters? Coastal access it's a human right, it's not a luxury. Many organizations that regularly access San Diego beaches, they charge a considerable amount, so San Diego becomes a pay-to-play area instead of, human rights. Nonprofit and tribal-led outdoor programs provide critical safety education, healing, and recreational equity. AB 2939 ensures that equal access for historically excluded communities, and for residents of South San Diego, the closest beaches are too polluted to enjoy. Next slide, please. So the city's resistance. Resolution 331 challenges AB 2939 implementation. It argues unrelated water activities pose safety risks, and some of these risks were spoken with the city staff here and lifeguards, and they're just absolutely not true. A lot of the concerns are that us nonprofits are understaffed and we're undertrained, when in fact, all of us have ocean safety training and lifeguard training, and even more so than the 5-to-1 ratio, we use 1-to-1 ratios, and we prioritize safety of our youth. Also, with all due respect, Chief, you said that you are the ones keeping the kids in the audience safe, when that's in fact true. We keep them safe with our training and our programs. We teach our kids how to respect the lifeguards. We go to the lifeguard stations when we're out the beach as well, and ask where the safest places are to swim. So the facts are that nonprofit groups have strong safety rules and ratios, and we offer structured ocean safety education. No evidence has been presented that these groups create more risk or greater liability than members of the general public engaging in similar activities. The public already engages in water activities daily without permits or oversight. The city's nonprofit program restricts groups to 20 days between Memorial Day and Labor Day, 3 beaches, 2 hours and 5 hours a day. Not to mention, weekends are completely blocked out. This creates more barriers for our youth who are in school and the parents who work during the week. They can't get to the beach during the week. Next slide, please. So there was a document that we found, the California Water Safety Coalition's California Safety Strategy. And there are over 100 supporters of these. And surprisingly, the San Diego lifeguards were one of them, as well as San Diego City Parks and Rec. And this is one quote: "Disparities in access to programs result in some communities and populations being disproportionately affected by drowning. Black residents have a 23% higher risk of unintentional fatal drowning than their white residents." So the lifeguards and the city and over 100 other constituents that put together this safety strategy, like us, believe that, access is important to prevent drowning. Next slide, please. So here are some statistics of our own, the average annual incident count, and in San Diego, the lifeguards make over 7,000 rescues a day. Ask me how many of those are under the supervision of a nonprofit. A lot of those, are thankfully rescues, but some of them are not. There are also drownings in San Diego. 0 of them are from supervised nonprofits. And in 2025 alone, we had over 20 ocean rescues. Again, 0 of them under supervised nonprofit groups. Next slide, please. So item 331 is discriminatory because private surf schools operate year-round at more locations than we're able to. Nonprofits are denied permits at certain beaches, and communities of concern rely on our programs for access. Resolution 331 maintains privilege and blocks outdoor equity. Next slide, please. The fiscal reality is that through the permits, only $1,200 was collected, and there is a higher administrative burden to the city. The permitting system is inefficient and inequitable. AB 2939 reduces unnecessary staff burden. Next slide, please. So this is our coalition amongst our other supporters, and combined we have decades of experience in water safety, youth development, and equity. We're committed to collaboration, safety, and access. Next slide, please. So our ask is for collaboration. We would like to ask the city to uphold AB 2939 without undermining resolutions. Our communities have waited decades, and we've dealt with deep systemic inequities at the coast, and we finally have a bill to protect that, and the city is trying to take it away. The city takes pride in being leaders in equity and access for all, but being leaders means more than press releases and strategies. We're asking you to take pride in your strategy and make action today and vote against this bill, okay? So we're trying to work with you and not against you. We're not asking for any special privileges, we're asking for equal rights, and we're asking you to stand with us to protect our youth. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Our next speaker here is Ben McHugh. Ben has time seated by, Tiffany Curry. Thanks, Tiffany. You will have 2 minutes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Council President and Council members. Ben McHugh, Executive Director of Outdoor Outreach. And we've been working here in San Diego since 1999. So in 25 years, we've served over 20,000 individual youth, specifically from communities of concern who face significant barriers both to beach and park access. Over the years, we've really tried to work proactively with the City of San Diego to improve access to parks and beaches for organized programs like ours, understanding that without doing that, we're really reinforcing this tale of two cities, where if you're a kid who's growing up in a neighborhood with parents who have transportation to the beach, equipment, knowledge of how to get there, and ocean awareness, all of our beaches are open to you. But if you're a kid who relies on one of our programs to get to the beach, you're basically told, all right, you can only go to these beaches. Oh yeah, you can't go on weekends when your parents might be able to join you. And you can only go for, as Rissa said, 2 to 5 hour increments at a time. And oh yeah, only between Memorial Day and Labor Day. That's a story that too many of the youth that we serve have heard over and over again. And that's really what we're talking about today, is to please reject this resolution, to basically, continue to reinforce this double standard for San Diego residents. We're the sponsor of AB 2939, and we did that really as a way to create a state standard of access across the state for organized, professional, nonprofit groups and tribes that once they could meet specific standards, that they would basically be able to access the same parks and beaches that have already been approved for general public access and for the same activities. So today, we're really asking you to please don't rush through this resolution. We need more time for the community to voice their concern and how it will impact. The chief is absolutely right. This is about public safety. It's about aquatic safety. A lot of the data that we have about drownings is individuals who go to the beach.
Your time has concluded.
To deal with the
Thank
conditions.
you. I have to be fair to all of our speakers. Our next speaker is Mitch Silverstein, followed by Michael King, followed by Ramon Chavirez, and if I could also have Philip Musegan come up.
Los Angeles, we lived in a swimming pool, an apartment with a swimming pool. Because my mom always thought it was important growing up as a single mom raising a child to have a swimming pool. And the reason she felt like that was important was because when she was a kid, her father would always say that they were not allowed to go to the beaches in Los Angeles. They were segregated. They had a sign up in the garage that said, no blacks, no Mexicans, no dogs. And it was felt that way about aquatic spaces, whether it was the beaches in LA or the public swimming pools. And I learned that later on in the 70s, in order to keep black people and Mexican people or any undesirables out of the pools, they would just drain the pool rather than honor the civil rights of people. So my grandfather asked Mayor Tom Bradley way back, I'm not sure what year it was, but I'm thinking 50s, 60s, to help build a pool in East LA. And that's exactly what they did, so that the youth could have a place to be that was not segregated.
Ghetto journalist, how we living?
Good, man. We living good. How about yourself, man?
Sheesh, bro. Hey, we surviving. We finished with the proof. Boom. I know, what's it called? Yeah, this crazy little idea. They got this whole campaign. They say black men run, but what about black men swim, huh? This black man swims. I don't know what the deal is. We'll see more people of color in this race or in these events, but it's nice to pull up and represent. Funny side stories. Yeah, I was walking barefoot here a few months ago. Some homeless guy was like, hey, this is in Africa, put some shoes on. I was like, what, bro? Fuck you. So if there was ever a more blatant example of being somewhere where we don't belong, there was that.
Water swim in the United States, and by the thousands of spectators and more than 800 swimmers on hand, it was easy to see why. The La Jolla Town Council and the La Jolla YMCA Swim Association has been sponsoring this event for the past 48 years. The annual event was split into several age categories. The entries in the men's senior division were anxious to test the 69-degree water. Then wave after wave of swimmers in different classifications took off for glory. The 1-mile swim tested the best. Going into the last turn, there was some confusion as some of the swimmers in the men's senior division who were in the lead went the wrong way. What happened out there? It seems like you were in about 3rd or 4th place, and some of the swimmers ahead of you made the wrong turn at the last buoy.
Yeah, we're coming out around the end. I started cutting inside of everyone, and I was cutting all the flags really close, and then I came back.
Hendrickson's time was 21 minutes and 3 seconds. The first girl to cross the finish line was young Leslie Mendez. Jesse Macias, News 8, La Jolla.
But me, being me, if I'm not supposed to be somewhere, I'm gonna pull up in full, I'm gonna pull all the way up. So that's why we did the shot. That's why we came through with the kente and represented with the robe, because you're gonna see me. And then it goes from you're gonna see me to you're gonna see us. And then it just becomes undeniable. Bro, and even like swimming, this is a good, it's just a different, it's a different meditation. They say, yeah, you gotta be still to meditate, but I think that my meditation is in movement. Because you're out there swimming, bro, and the shots, you look down with the goggles and it's just blue, you know, and dark, and you see fish swimming by, and you see the sea lions underneath you, and then the rays of the sun piercing into the ocean, and it's just like you gotta keep going, you have to keep swimming. And I don't know if you guys have been tapped in with this, what's it called? There's this reggae show, man, with the Marleys, family of Bob Marley. They've got this guy, he waves the flag the entire time. He doesn't stop, bro. He only stops in between songs, but then boom, he just keeps waving it. Flagman Judah, big up yourself. Just waving the flag. Doesn't take any breaks. And one time years ago, I was like, bro, why? How? How do you do this? And he just said, it's not a physical thing for us. This is a spiritual thing, you know, and it's a job that we have to do. So that's some of the mentality that I take with myself in this swim. 3 miles is no joke, but if you stop, you can't make it. If you stop, you're done. You just have to tap into whatever energy you have and just keep the arms going, keep the arms going, keep the arms going, you know? If the arms aren't going, then it's your legs, and if the legs not going, you just float for a little bit and then you keep moving, you ride the wave, but there's no stopping, man, there's no stopping. So just different revelations, and thinking about moments swimming in Ghana, swimming out the coast to the castle, swimming in Kenya, going across the island from Shella to Lamu, man, swimming in Addis, bro, in Zimbabwe, in Lake Kariba. It's just, you know, water is everywhere. So it's nice to represent and to bring a piece of that here. And again, my stories are great, but eventually you're gonna hear the stories of the kids that I've been dragging out to swim with me in the ocean. Coach Asante, bro. It took us far into the sea, and you know, hearing their stories about how they improved their open water swimming, and it'll be great to see them here do that. But yeah, man, I feel good. 3 miles is no joke, and we got 1 more mile to go. So just like Kobe Bryant, we can't smile because job's not finished, man. We got one more race to run, and then maybe I'll take a nap and get right back to work tomorrow. So yeah. Black Star Polo to the world.
How important is today with what you're doing back home?
I think it's really important because, man, I don't think people really realize how deep representation can fuels people. Like early on starting Black Star Polo, I had this revelation of like, all right, think about an eagle, right? The eagle has the baby. There's no, you know, chapter 1, chapter 2. There's no textbook on how to fly. It's boom, kick you out the nest, and you learn. And you learn because you're watching, you know, other eagles with you learning to fly. Same deal. It's all visuals. So even though I might not see myself and other people here, people seeing themselves in me swimming this way, it gives them that validation that they can do it too, you know? And it's wild because on your worst day here, just even on a matter of privilege, your worst day here is somebody's best day over there in Africa. And these kids over there in Ghana and even across the continent, sometimes they see their coach and it just gives them that fuel. Okay, I can work for that. Maybe one day I can swim in the ocean in California, in America, you know? Maybe one day I can, you know, write some music and sing on the stage like the coach did. It just maps out a path, you know? And we had one of our guys, shout out to Mr. Manful, he was like, you gotta understand, man, you're creating this whole pathway of realization for kids, and you're creating like a door for them. And you're doing it now just by existing. Like literally, you just existing is opening all these doors for anybody that follows and walks that same path. So just the fact that they have they have a place where they can see themselves. They may have never had it before, you know? So that's kind of why it's like you're not just swimming for one person, you're swimming for a whole nation, whole people, whole diaspora, you know, whole culture. So it's important because they see this and it's like, all right, bro, now we gotta lock in. I can't say I can't do it because there goes my coach, he's doing it too, you know? And this is just me off the rip. Like you imagine when it's doing this and we're locked in, that's a whole different level of motivation for them. So it's important, man. They gotta see themselves in it. Yeah.
Okay, it's going to be tight this year. Congratulations. Go with you.
Good job.
Excellent, excellent.